Hey everybody, how is life treating you? This is the Daily Insight on Life and Love for April 29th, 2020, but it's also timeless, so wherever you're pulled to it in time, let me know what brings you here. Let me know if you need clarification or if you want to book your own personal reading. Everything is welcome and acceptable. Ask me about my rates. And I missed the Daily Insight on Life and Love for the 28th. I was really under the weather. Thank you to everybody for being super understanding. And, well, I'm here for the 29th. Let's do it. I was pulled to Wisdom of the Oracle. Don't be afraid of the cards that come out or how they lay. The story marries as a whole. So, flexible. Time to go. Chop wood in reverse. Damn. Then we have Unfinished Symphony in reverse. Then we have Clean It Up. Okay, so, you know what? Even trees move to wherever there's water. If you go down in the south in the United States, there are these big rooted trees that if you pay attention for like 10 years, you can start to see them move downstream to where there is more water. This is saying that, okay, you have deep roots. You can stand to be more flexible. Even if this storyline is going to cause you to have to move to another spot, you know who you are. You know what you are at your core. You can be unafraid of any sort of movement that comes your way. Time to go, which also means that it's time to go. It's time to get your life in gear. You have got to be in more of the swing of things. You got to give yourself the ability to potentially screw up in life. If you don't make any movement just based on fear that you could screw something up, that's sabotaging it right there. You have to be unafraid. You are going to have bumps and bruises with life. This is no exception. This is going to lead you to greatness. You have to be the student at this current time. Also, chop wood in reverse and Unfinished Symphony in reverse. You are not going to be able to close off every loose end in your life, and that is perfectly okay. There are some things that you won't be able to reach out with your past situations that you won't be able to rectify. You have to do that internally if you can't do it in the physical, and you have to be okay with that. Sometimes forgiveness happens solely for you, so you won't have to keep reliving it. Sometimes it's just solely to free yourself of the condition. But also, all talk and no action makes people like me go absolutely crazy. Don't just talk about the things that you want to do. Now is the time to start preparing yourself to put them into action. Chop wood, especially in reverse. Don't just be a person who talks about things. Talking isn't action. Talking is the buffer. You have so many amazing things that you want to do in this life that you want to set out to do, and yet you get to a certain point where it's just like, oh, but when am I going to find the time? There's so much to do. I would have to do bump, ba bump, ba bump, ba bump. Guess what? You're going to end up having to do bump, ba bump, ba bump, ba bump anyways. Whether it's going back to school, whether it's learning a trade, whether it's completely unplugging from something and doing another, you're going to have to fill that time and space with something. So you might as well do it with whatever you want. Cleaning out your closet. I want you to think of every reason as to why you can't have something, why you don't get that happiness, that dream job, that dream love. I want you to think about every single reason, write it down on a piece of paper, and then set it on fire because it's absolute garbage. You deserve absolutely everything that you want. Anyone who tells you that you don't deserve it, that's because they couldn't do it themselves and they're trying to make you feel smaller. There's more than enough to go around in this universe. Clean out your closet of BS and the BS stories that you keep telling yourself and get to the work. It didn't take you a day to get here. It's not going to take you a day to get where you want to go, but every single action, every single minute is closer to a particular destination. Yeah. To be flexible, go where the water is. Get back into the flow state. Allow yourself to be happy. Allow doors to open up. Don't just wait for the opportunity. Sometimes you are going to have to create your own opportunity. And you'll know it when it comes, because you won't be able to do anything that is not that You won't be able to fulfill any other reason, if that makes sense. So clean out your closet, get your life, and well, get your life started. You deserve it. So that was that part of the reading. Let's see where we're going to next. Where are we going to next? These pants are so huge that I always get caught underneath me. I don't care, I like big baggy clothes. I either like it completely form-fitting and hugging the skin, or big and flowy. I really have no particular style. Okay. So, Spirit, where are we going to now? Stay. Alright, it looks like we are going to regular, ride, or wait. By the way, if you are new to the channel, make sure that you like, you share if you want, if you know anyone who would be, benefiting from this. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications because I'm always putting out new videos. And if you are new, hey, I hope you enjoy yourself. Yes. That's the basis part of the reading. And again, don't be afraid of the cards that come out or how they lay. It's how the story marries as a whole. And it's general. It's collective. It's not going to make sense to everybody. If it doesn't, don't force it. But if it does, cool. Let me know in the comments or in personal message. All right. A lot of mind, body, spirit stress. 3 of Swords. Boop. You feel like there's no victory. You feel like all the choices have been wiped from you. You're feeling incredibly powerless right now. I don't like it. This entire reading is so far talking about you having to take a brave step forward. And you know what? That's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. But you have to see that you're freaking worth it in this. There's nothing stopping you. Well, aside from, the social distancing and COVID-19. Feels like there's unhealthy, feels like you have an unhealthy authoritative figure watching you overhead. Feels like, almost like I'm not saying that this is what we're living in. I'm saying that you feel like you have some sort of a dictator over your head. And I mean this in a very personal sense for you. It's like you can't make any choices. There's no way for you to win in a situation. And it feels like you are alone. You're not alone in any of this. There's nobody who has real authentic power over you. Why is fear navigating you so much right now? Spirit, can I get an answer for that? Why are they feeling all of this fear? What is this prelude to? What is the test? Come on. We're going to get through this. Come on. Oh, so if you're watching this from the future, what brings you here? Yeah. One more. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Yes. Okay. Starting to see some results, peeps. Okay. So, this is what we have so far. A lot of reversals, but you want to know what? It's a test. What's the test? Is it possible for you to even look at life in a completely different way? All of these doors that are slamming shut in your face, all these connections that you're losing, all these times that you are feeling completely powerless. What am I going to do? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to take care of my health? I can't afford to miss work. This is all you being completely pulled out of this situation and being forced to look at life and new possibility and new light. This is making you so uncomfortable. You have no other choice but to completely change your life. And what do you want to do with that life? This is where the star card comes in. And I love this because, you know, Ramblin' Mike talks about this a lot. You don't get this unless you've been through the hellfire. You've been through the hellfire. There's not one person on the planet who has not been through that hellfire. And completely either isolated, some people are sick, some people are in their own personal hell. But the point of this is, it's about to get really good. But you have to decide how you can possibly change your life. Change it for the better, change it for you standing in your power, because you feel like there is some sort of complete disempowerment at your hands, well, on your hands. Like, no matter what you do, it's gonna fall through. This is huge stress. Isn't it crazy to do all this work to create an image, to create a sense of self, and to create either this, make yourself indisposable at work, and yet here we are with everything shutting down. You have the most amazing essential workers, and I'm not dogging down anyone's work, but you people on the front lines, God, you guys are freaking angels on earth. I'm telling you that right now. Everyone who's still being forced to work right now, you guys are completely badass bosses. And anyone who is unable to work right now, it doesn't mean that you're less than anything at all. I hope you understand that. This has been forcing you to be so uncomfortable, so insecure in circumstance that it's, for one, making you angry after you get over this fear bit. And then it's to be successful in your own terms, to be spiteful almost. Like, I am never gonna let you make me feel this particular way again. Well, bam, how you like that? You can do anything in the world, and here I am. I'll still be standing. I'll still be in my success. I'll still be in my joy. You wanna know why? Because I fucking earned it. Yeah, all of these things are coming into play for you. It's part of stripping the ego. It's like the huge ego death that the world's experiencing right now, but you still get the star. That's beautiful. It's amazing. It's highly emotional and highly productive. And the star, well, the sun is also a star. So this coming into play right now, this is going to lead you to your ultimate happiness. And it also leads you to your freedom. There's a bird that's standing out in the background to me on this. But your cup is going to overflow, and you are going to have your answers absolutely where you are standing. So I hope that that made sense. It's going to be uncomfortable until you change, and until you take control and power back. All right, so what are we healing right now? Basis of the reading, new beginnings. Come on, spirit, out with it. Answered prayer. You better be very careful and direct on what you are putting out into the universe, because that's exactly what you are going to get, just not in the way that you think. Manifestation. God, Age of Aquarius. Seriously. Retreat! Back away! Get some sleep, get some Z's. You're just so done with all this stress, all the BS, all this fear. It's like a self-imposed prison, and everyone's starting to realize it. So they're like, oh my God, I am in this prison, and yet there's an open door in front of me. Why haven't I seen that before? How long has it been there? What's on the other side of it? Well, look at it. All you have to do is walk through. This, sometimes we fight for so freaking long that we lose sight of the reason why we are fighting, what the hell we're fighting for, and what's on the other side of it. This is what that's talking about right now. You had been on the defense for so long. You forgot what it was for. So this is calling you to pause for a moment, take a step back, take a breather, and then look at the issue at hand. Try and see it with fresh eyes. You're going to have to come back to this scenario well rested. You're going to have to take a breather. You're going to have to sleep on it. I really want you to pay attention to the dreams that come through before you step back on it. It's going to give you new tools and insight. What you are getting in this, aside from this whole new life, is the biggest sense of freedom and serenity, the I can do it attitude, and that is going to be one of the biggest tools for you to utilize. You have answered prayers and manifestations in this new beginning coming into play. You know, we've been crying for so long about how can we change this life. This isn't what we want. It always seems like an uphill battle. Yeah, you're not wrong. Sometimes it seems like a really bad uphill battle. So we put out into the universe, is there any way that we can make this easier? What is it that I truly want and need? And the answer is coming to you. But there has to be a let go of the control issue, because you can't really guarantee how it's going to come your way. You get the biggest insights when you release and surrender. When you demand an answer, that's when life tells you to chill out, Pappy, and put you on the back burner for a minute. You are at a complete new beginning. Your manifestation tools are really taking off. It's happening super fast. All of you are going through this great awakening, and it's no small feat at all. You won't have to keep fighting. I think that's another major thing. Eventually the fight ends. And what's after that? You know, what happens after every fight? There's the recovery. There's that quiet. There's that new sense of understanding, appreciation, all those things. Serenity now. Just be very direct in what you want. It's not a time for guessing games. We're done with the games. Fudge the games. We're over it. What do you say we look at love? If you are new to the channel, I love love. I love all the ways that it expresses itself. The basis part of the reading is getting over the love that couldn't love you back in the way that you needed at the time. It's okay. You got soulmate coming in. I know. Honeymoon. Calling in your soulmate. Yeah. All right, so, oh my God, okay. You have a lot of healing the family issues that you have to come in. Now, this doesn't have to always be biological family, just whatever you witnessed in your formative years and whatever conditions you have as how you see relationships, what you think the roles are, and depending on where you are in the world, what you think that you're going to be doing. All of that has to be completely unlearned, and you have to actually see what it is that you want from a partner and what you bring to the table, because you've been going through this massive spiritual growth spurt. It's going to be pretty different than any relationship that you've had in the past, but you also have to heal old wounds. This can involve previous relationships, but it can also talk about healing family dynamic relationship, because often people will project their mommy, daddy, or sibling issues onto their partner if they're not healed. And that really goes for any relationship. If you haven't healed it, you'll project it onto anyone who's around you somehow, you know, subconsciously. You'll keep drawing in similar scenarios until you've healed it. That's a hard truth. Let's see. This is going to be a very strong, committed relationship that's coming into play after you've healed and done some shadow work. You guys trigger each other massively. Patience is going to have to be really really made an effort with in this relationship. So let's see, a lot of cards, but it's all intuitive pull. So sometimes I'll just have a few, sometimes I'll have a lot. But yeah, this has potential to be a long-standing commitment. It's definitely a soul-bonded relationship. You have countless amount of kindred spirits. You have a lot of soulmates. And then you have very, very few, if not only one, twin flame. But from what I'm reading, apparently, God, you know, they say that you have a few, but I feel like those are just deep soul bonded soulmates. I really feel in my heart that if you do have a twin flame, then it's like the one. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not dogging down anyone's experience at all. This is just what I personally understand and know to be true from my experience. And I haven't met my twin flame yet. All right, Spirit. So, let's see. The basis part of this one is give yourself much more credit. All right. Your treasure is at hand. Okay. Oh, and I want this one. It's a huge time for forgiveness. Why do I still want this one? All right, guys, we're reading a bunch of cards right now. Whatevs. I got it. Give yourself much more credit. Do something new, something different. Forgive. Love in spite of it all. You needn't worry. Love is never in vain. Everyone is doing their best. I go where you go. And your treasure is at hand. Sure, you can always find prettier, handsomer, skinnier, wiser, richer, younger, zippier, but more often than not, one learns the most, laughs the loudest, and smiles the widest with those they've already found, especially when they stop looking elsewhere. Actually, zippier's on quite a few lists. Tell me, were you finding the occasional stranger? Tell me, are you finding that the occasional stranger has a crush on you? That for words you've almost mindlessly chosen, hearts broken too long begin to heal. The eyes sometimes well up with tears when it's time to say goodbye. Remarkable our findings. Exactly. This is talking about just how desirable you are. For some reason, I was having the hardest time reading that back right now. Not sure why. Sometimes I'll trip over my words. All right, there are really only two types of people, those you now love and those you will love. Until that there's only one type of person, then we'll probably hit replay. The game of life, the universe. When you finally see what this whole time-space thing is about, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, and you're going to be so happy you loved as much as you did. There's no one in your life who hasn't loved you. They're all just learning how to show it. Those big sillies. Before this odyssey ever began, there was you, your best friends, and this wide-eyed curiosity amongst you who would be the first to leap, the first to forget, the first to kiss, the first to tell, the first to fall, the first to get back up, and the first to remember that it all began with a dare. To love in spite of it all is that you, Murgatroyd, the universe. P.S. I remember the glint in your eyes, all three of them. You get it? Because third eye. Nerds. I love it. I'm a nerd. Yeah. Of course, anger can always be justified. But then, so can forgiveness. It just depends on how much more you want from the adventure. Go for gobs, the universe. Ever notice that it's how it's easier to fall in love and be fallen in love with when you're busy? Thank goodness I'm you, the universe. A stranger than strange preponderance to ponder. Those in great relationships aren't always those who are good at relationships, and those who are in challenging relationships aren't always those who are bad at relationships. Oh, see now, even though I use preponderance ineptly, this one's really good. Please ponder the universe. All right, you guys, I hope this made sense. I hope that you enjoyed the reading. Definitely reach out, say hello, let me know where you are in the world. I'm in Dutchess County, New York. And, well, if you have any questions about booking your own reading, go ahead and reach out. Otherwise, until next time, stay safe, have fun, and I love you all very much. Goodbye for now.